We were at a friend's housewarming party. I stepped outside to take a call and quietly slipped back in a few minutes later. That's when I heard someone ask my girlfriend if she'd say yes if I proposed. She laughed and then said something that hit me like a punch to the chest. "Oh, no," she said. "I'm not trying to marry someone like him. He's fine for now, but that's it." I didn't say a word, just turned around and left. She didn't even realize I was gone until much later, when people started looking for me. Now, 3 days later, she's begging me to marry her before we even start again. I haven't decided what I'll say, but I want to thank you for being here listening. It matters more than you know when you've spent most of your life feeling like you're not enough. Hearing someone confirm that, especially someone you trusted, just hits differently. I grew up in the foster care system. My mom lost her battle with addiction when I was 8. My dad was never in the picture. By the time I was 17, I'd lived in 11 different homes. I learned early not to get attached. Nothing lasted. Not homes, not people, not love. But somehow I made it through high school, got a scholarship to a community college, worked 2 jobs, earned my degree in social work. Now at 32, I run a nonprofit that helps foster youth transition into independent living. The work matters. It makes a difference, but it doesn't pay much. I drive a decade-old car, rent a small apartment, shop at thrift stores. Not because I'm broke, but because instability taught me how to be careful. I met Sabrina 2 years ago through mutual friends. She works in pharmaceutical sales, designer heels, airport lounges, big commissions. On paper, we made no sense, but somehow we clicked. She was drawn to my story, called my work inspiring. For the first time, I felt like someone saw me, not despite where I'd come from, but because of it. People doubted us. Sabrina usually dated finance guys, the ones with tailored suits and lake houses. I heard the whispers. It's just a phase. He's a charity case. I pretended not to notice, but those words echoed something deep and familiar. Still, it felt real with her. She introduced me to her friends, brought me home to meet her parents, kept a toothbrush at my place. We talked about the future, maybe even kids someday. After 2 years, I thought I'd found it in my person, my home. Last Saturday, we were at my friend Troy's housewarming. He and I met in the foster system when we were teens. He went into business, started a construction company, just bought his first place. I was proud of him. He'd made it. The party had a good mix. Some of Troy's business friends, some from our foster care days. Sabrina was her usual radiant self, mingling with ease. Around 9 p.m., I stepped outside to take a call from one of my program kids. He was in a panic, locked out of his apartment. I promised to head over with the spare key we keep at the office. I slipped back in through the side door to let Sabrina know I'd be stepping out for a bit. As I passed through the kitchen, I heard voices from the dining room. If he proposed, would you say yes? It was Sarah, Troy's girlfriend. There was a pause, then Sabrina's laugh. I used to love that laugh. "Ew, no," she said, lowering her voice just a little, but still perfectly audible. "I'm not trying to marry someone like him. He's fine for now, but that's it." Another woman, I think it was Kim, asked, "But you've been together for 2 years. Don't you think he's expecting something?" Sabrina responded, "Jack is sweet, and yeah, the whole he overcame adversity thing is admirable, but let's be real. He's always going to be scraping by. His idea of a vacation is camping. He gets those calls from his kids at all hours. It's fine for a while, gives you perspective. But to marry him, live like that forever? No way." I stood frozen. Her words crushed me. I reached into my pocket and felt the small velvet box I'd been carrying around, the one with the ring I'd saved for 6 months to buy. I'd been waiting for the right moment. Clearly, that moment was never coming. I didn't say anything, didn't confront her. I just turned and walked out, helped Marcus with his apartment situation, drove home in silence. My phone lit up with missed calls at night. Sabrina, Troy, Sarah. I turned it off. By morning, I had 17 missed calls, dozens of texts, some annoyed, some concerned, some angry. I finally replied, "I heard what you said at Troy's. I need space." Sabrina called right away. I didn't answer. She came to my place, waited in the lot for hours. Monday, more calls. Messages from friends. I kept things short. Yes, I was okay. No, I wasn't ready to talk. Then on Tuesday, I answered a call from a number I didn't recognize. Her voice came through shaky and rushed. Jack, please don't hang up. I just left the doctor. I'm pregnant. The world tilted. I took 3 tests yesterday, she said. They were all positive. The doctor confirmed it today. I'm about 6 weeks. I know what you heard. I know it sounded terrible, but I need you right now. Please. We met at a coffee shop, neutral ground. She looked nothing like her usual polished self. No makeup, messy hair, red swollen eyes. Before you say anything, she said, I know what I said was awful. I've been lying to you, to everyone, but mostly to myself. When Sarah asked that question, I panicked. All those people looking at me. She trailed off, searching for words. I'm still not sure what comes next, but I know one thing. I'll never forget the feeling of hearing someone confirm your worst fears about yourself. Not just anyone. Someone you thought saw your worth. Someone you were about to give everything to. I fell back into old habits. The version of myself that cared too much about appearances, who judged others on shallow things. When I saw her standing there, I didn't say a word. The truth is, I've been scared. Scared of how deeply I love her. She's the best person I've ever known. And every day I'm afraid she'll realize I'm not enough. That she'll see right through me. Just some superficial marketing girl who once thought a person's worth was in their car or the photos they posted online. In her response to tell me I was just a phase, that she'd never marry me. She whispered. My voice stayed even, but my hand was shaking. I was trying to protect myself. She whispered. If I admitted how much I wanted a life with you and then lost you, her voice faded, tears welling in her eyes. It's the stupidest thing I've ever done. She placed a hand on her stomach. And now you're pregnant, I said, bitterness slipping through. So now I'm marriage material. No, I mean, yes, I'm pregnant, but that's not why. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small weathered journal. Here, this is from the past year. Read the page I marked. I opened it slowly to April 16th. Jack mentioned kids again today. Jack mentioned kids. It said just casually like it was obvious we'd have them together. I couldn't stop smiling after he left. I've never wanted kids before. Always thought they'd get in the way of my career. But with him, I find myself picturing a little boy with his kind eyes, a girl with his quiet strength. Is this what it feels like when you found your person? When you finally understand what home means? That was 2 months ago, she said softly. I've got dozens of entries like that. I've loved you for longer than I could admit to you or myself. The pregnancy just forced me to stop pretending. I closed the journal and slid it back across the table. I need time, I said. Later that night, I called Troy and asked what happened at the party after I left. It was wild, he said. Like half an hour after you were gone, Sabrina started showing everyone photos from your childhood, those old ones you keep hidden in your closet. She was saying how proud she was of you, how she wanted your kids to inherit your resilience. Sarah made a joke about you two getting engaged, and Sabrina got quiet. Then she said she was worried you didn't think she was serious about you. She had those photos. I asked. I kept those locked away in a fireproof box. They were all I had left from my early life in foster care. Yeah, Troy said. She told everyone she'd been scanning them to restore them. Something about making a proper album since yours was falling apart. After the call, I checked my closet. The album was still there, but different. Its worn cover reinforced with careful archival tape. Inside, each photo had been matched with a cleaned-up version, sharper colors, repaired tears. In the back, there was a USB drive labeled digital backups and a receipt from a restoration service dated 3 months ago. That Wednesday, I stood outside her apartment. She opened the door, nervous and hopeful. I have questions, I said. We talked for hours about the photos, the party, the pregnancy, our backgrounds, and what shaped us. I need you to understand something. I finally told her, I've spent my whole life being seen as a charity case, a project, someone to pity or fix. I can't be with someone who sees me that way. I don't, she said. That's what I've been trying to explain. I admire you. Those dumb things, I said, they came from fear, not from my heart. But that fear came from somewhere real. I said, we're different. My work doesn't make me rich. Those kids will always be my priority. The calls will always come first. I know, she said quietly. That's why I want to raise a child with you, because you care more about people than things. I pulled out the ring box. Her eyes widened. I was going to propose at Troy's party. Had the whole thing planned. Back deck. String lights. Everyone gathered for a toast. She covered her mouth. Tears falling. I'm not giving you this now, I said, slipping the box away. Not today. Not yet. We got things to work through. I understand, she whispered. But I want this child, I said more gently now. And I want to try to build something real with you. Something rooted in who we are, not who we think we're supposed to be. That was a week ago. We're moving slowly. She's staying at my place for now while we figure things out. She's had morning sickness every day, and I hold her hair back without a word. We started seeing a counselor. I'm still healing, still unsure, but watching her dive into parenting books and plan doctor's appointments with the same passion she used to pitch campaigns. It's showing me a new side of her. Last night, I found her scanning more of my old photos, holding each one like it was fragile and sacred. Why do you start doing this? I asked. She didn't look up. Because you keep every memory, even the painful ones. You taught me that they matter, even the ugly parts, especially those. I just wanted to help preserve them. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if the hurt will fade or if I'll ever fully trust her again. But yesterday, when one of my kids called at 2 a.m. needing a ride out of a rough situation, she said, grabbing her keys, "You look tired." Maybe that's something. Not a perfect ending. Not some grand fairy tale, but beginning a small, real step towards something honest. Something made from who we are, not who we pretended to be.